What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this video is going to be about the perfect dating cycle. And if the audio was a little bit weird, I broke my other microphone. This thing served its purpose, and it was cutting out, picking up all kinds of hissing, and I didn't even realize it until I was recording one of my courses and stuff like that. So I picked up a mic and borrowed this one from the woman. She is a musician, so she has all these high-end microphones and stuff like that. So this might be a little overkill for something like this, because I think this is made for music and like high-end recording. So I'm gonna have to probably mess around with some sort of editing to get down, because this mic picks up everything. So I'm gonna have to probably mess around with some stuff. So if the audio is weird, just bear with me until I get a new recording mic. And if this actually works out pretty well, then I'll use it for a while. What I want to talk about is a perfect dating cycle. So a lot of guys will have issues when they are dating women, right? So especially when they are, trying to get an ex back, they have a lot of issues. They don't really know what to do. They don't really know, because they are so afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing that they have no idea where to go and what to do. So this is what I always reset guys onto during my coaching program. I thought, fuck, maybe it's time to make a video on this, because everyone can benefit from this and use this to their advantage, even when you're dating a new girl. And this is going to keep a girl really interested in you. This is how you keep somebody from getting bored of you, and it's how you keep somebody interested in you because you're mysterious, blah, blah, blah. Step number one is set a date. Okay. So you set proper dates. What does this mean? You be direct and say, look, I want to meet you here at this time. You set the proper direct action to tell her where she's got to be, or if you're picking her up or whatever. I'll leave you guys to that. But your mission here is to be very direct. Say, look, this is the time I have, and I'll meet you at 7:00 here at your front door. I'll pick you up, whatever. Something extremely direct and something that, it's simple. Then you take her on the date, right? So that's step number one. Set the date, set the proper terms, set the tone of what the relationship is going to be like. If this is a new one, if it's an ex, this is going to be new territory for you, because she's going to be used to you being a specific way, right? She's going to be used to you being weak. She's going to be used to you not being a man. So you're going to have to keep reinforcing this over and over, which is why this cycle works so fucking well. This is what I do. At least this is what I try to do all the time, as much as I can, and it works very, very well. So that's step number one. Set the date properly, and if I had to add a little bit more to that, stay the fuck off the phone, but that kind of goes into number two. Number two, have a great time. Now, I can't teach you guys how to have a great time with a woman. That is up to you and the chemistry of the person that you're hanging out with. But what I can tell you to do is have multiple dates in one night. So if you go shoot pool, you guys can do darts, or you guys can do bowling, or you guys can do a lot of these things will be in the same building or nearby sometimes, depending on where you live. Or you guys can have, dinner and then go out, or go out and have your date, then go to dinner. Have multiple evenings in one evening, so to speak. But between the time that you set the date to you show up on the date, a lot of guys have this question right here, and I will answer this right away. They will say, what if she texts me? How much conversation should I be having with a woman between step number one and step number two? So if the girl's really, really interested in you, she'll probably be texting you, wondering where you are. Now, a lot of girls these days are really low self-esteem. And that's not a diss. That's just the way. Actually, it's not even women. It's everyone. A lot of even guys are fucking low self-esteem. So they'll reach out to you, and they'll be like, oh, is the date still on? Or they'll reach out to you just to see if you'll say hi. This is where you're going to be filtering a lot of high quality people in and out of your life, because the more insecure somebody is, the less you're going to want to be around them long term. This is the whole point of dating, to filter out who the fuck you want to be with. So for you guys out there that are trying to become more high value and find a high value woman, this is how you do it. Because if she's super, super insecure and she gets mad at you because you're not answering her text right away or whatever, then you don't want to be dating her anyway. So say she texts you, right? You guys are, you're doing your thing and you get a text from her. Wait a little while. Wait like, I don't know, a couple hours. Answer the text message. Then from there, have your little weird, 5 to 10 minute exchange. When you have that little exchange, reassure and reaffirm that you're going to see her on the date that you already set. This is exactly why setting dates is so important, because you have something to bounce her back onto. If she's insecure, or here's another thing, fellas, that you're going to be dealing with, is she is going to be, as more time goes by, men are getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and she's going to be, she's going to be wanting to protect herself from these weak guys, so she'll test more, meaning she'll flake more. She'll she won't give you definite times more often, right? So this is something you have to watch out for, and it's all you guys have to do is say, look, baby, I'm looking forward to seeing you on this date. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday, or I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. Okay, let's actually have a perfect little setup here. Let's say you set the date Monday. Okay, it's Tuesday. She'll probably say, hey, how you doing? Whatever. Maybe not. Maybe it's Wednesday the first time she'll message you. Whatever. But if the date's set for Thursday and she messages you on Tuesday or Wednesday, have your little exchange. Don't ignore her, because a lot of guys think that ignoring her is going to be the best option. No, don't ignore her. Just answer her. Be like, hey, how you doing? I've been thinking about you today. I'm looking forward to our date. How's your day going? And she'll be like, oh, my day is going great, blah, blah, blah. This is like the best case scenario, right? Sometimes girls will just, ignore you after that to see if you're going to freak out or be weird. Just remember, all that matters is that date time. And if she doesn't show up and she flakes, then you're looking for her to show some interest in rescheduling, but we'll get to that in a minute. So when she reaches out to you, just bounce back to that fucking date that is set. So, and then obviously going back to step number 2, have your great date, have a good time. And all you're aiming to do on these dates, fellas, I know I'm kind of reinforcing a lot of ideas over in a repetitive manner, but hear me out. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get closer and closer and closer to her. Because the closer that you guys get, the more she's going to be into you, the closer she's going to want to be to you. She's going to want you inside. Okay, getting inside is, the ultimate end all be all for couples. That's how you know what somebody wants to be with you long, full time. They're so into you that they're letting you inside them. You guys get so close that you guys, you end up inside of her if you're a fella. And if you're a lady, you and the guy that you're, going out with, he's doing things so well and he's acting so strong that you're letting him go inside, because that's how close you want him to be to you. That's the closest that two humans can be together with the physical realm, right? So that's the whole point of dating and relationships, is to be close, right? But then here is step number 3, which will throw some of you guys for a fucking loop. Give her space. So let's just summarize where we're at right now. Set the date. Step number 1. Step number 2, have a great date. And then in between those, stay off the phone as much as possible. Okay, so let her think about you and all that stuff. That's actually giving her space. But if when she messages you, reaffirm the date and reaffirm that you're going to see her, and then have a great time. And what's going to happen over time as well, before I get into number 3, what is really going to happen is she's going to start remembering, okay, you know what, this guy doesn't babble on the phone. He actually just has a great time with me in person. It will take her a little bit to get used to that, because there's no fucking guys out there that do this. And this gives her the perfect amount of time to be wondering about you, which we all know at this point is what women need to be more attracted to men. Time alone to think about you, to wonder about you, to wonder where this is going, and blah, 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 blah. But all she's looking for is to have a great time right now. So step number 3 is give her space. So after your fantastic date, what I want you guys to be doing is giving her some space to miss you. So after the date is over, give her a couple of days, okay? She's probably going to text you, answer her, but don't set any dates just yet for like another 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that. Give her some time. And this is where a lot of guys are having a real hard time understanding this when they join my coaching program, because the guys these days are fucking needy. They are the guys that every woman does not want to date. They're women. And again, guys, what the fuck is the point of dating? You're trying to figure out who you want to hang out with long term. And if a man is needy or insecure, or he's got this, the telltale signs of complacency going on, then she's not going to want to be with him. So that's the whole point. And now, if you want her to be really, really into you, this is push-pull. This is in, out. So what you do is you have this great date, which is, you show her a great time, you tell her how awesome she is. This is kind of like the push pull sort of. And what's going to happen is she's going to be like, oh my God, this guy really likes me, blah, blah, blah. But it's not too much, of course. Then you pull back. You don't say anything. You don't obsess over her, nothing. And she's going to go home and she's like, you know what? Like, I had such a great time. And she'll reach out to you and you say, yeah, I had a great time too. You have your little, 2-minute to 5-minute conversation. Sometimes it'll be 10 minutes. But look, by the time you and her reach back out to each other, but you want to be ending the conversation, leaving her wanting a little bit more. All you got to do is say, look, I got to go. I'm with the boys tonight. I'm doing this tonight. I'm doing that tonight. I got so much on my plate right now. I'll see you soon. Okay. Look, and she's probably going to reach out to you again, but now you have to set the next date. This is it, fellas. That is the perfect cycle. Okay. Now, if there's anybody out there who is doing the same work that I do, if there's something you want to add to it, go straight ahead. Right. But I found that all you have to focus on, even being together for 10, 15 fucking years, is that same cycle. Now, if you guys live together, you have to still do the same things, because you guys, just because you live together doesn't mean you should spend every fucking waking moment together, right? And this is where the dynamic of relationships needs to be educated and talked about. Don't spend every waking minute together. If she's there and she's just reading a book, you don't have to sit beside her the entire time. Go into the other room and find something to do. And this comes back to being on your purpose. This comes back to being on your grind. This comes back to being a fucking masculine man who's on his mission, and what, because that's something that never really stops. It's something that you can always be doing. It's something that you can always be focusing on. But this is how you set up a perfect relationship. This is how you set her up to be This is how you set it up to be successful with a woman, so she thinks that you're masculine. She thinks that you're strong, because what you're going to be doing is your only focus is going to be having a great fucking date. Really, that's the main focus of the perfect cycle, having a great date. And then you end up inside, and then you give her space. So it's really imagine an arrow here and an arrow down here kind of pointing towards each other. So if that's the purpose, the only reason I have step number 1 is to set the date. Well, you just keep setting dates and having great dates, but stay off the phone and let her wonder about you. That's why it's so important. That's why, because when she's wondering about you, her attraction's going up, and she's thinking about all those little things about you, and she'll become obsessed with you. And then you're now like, okay, now she's all over me, and I have no time to myself. And then now, guys, you guys are filtering out bad women instead of you going out with every girl that likes you. This is the point. Women want to be with real men. Women want to be with strong fucking men. Guys who are not going to fall over at the sign of every struggle, okay? And women want these guys because now women can focus on their purposes, whatever that may be. And that's it, fellas. Women are getting stronger, so you have to be stronger than them. That's the point. And now guys are getting weaker and weaker instead of getting stronger and stronger. Everything's backwards right now. This is getting them to be a long fucking video. So remember, I'll do one more fucking summary. Set your date. Stay off the phone. If she messages you, then you have an exchange, but reaffirm the date and then get off the phone. Step number 2, have the great date. Take her out on multiple dates per night that you guys are going on that date, and then get so close to her that you guys end up inside. Now, this won't happen on the first date, of course. It might happen on date number 2 or 3 or whatever, but ultimately that's your goal, right? Get closer and closer and closer to her every single date that you have. And there's going to be a point where, you will reach where you guys can't really get any closer because you've been inside every single time. Now she's sharing more about her with you. Do you like what you see? Do you like what's up here in her head? Okay, fellas, don't just go out with every girl that shows you her tits, okay? So that's step number 2, which is have your great date, get as close to her as possible. And step number 3 is give her some fucking space. She's going to respect you for that too, because now you're not obsessed with her. Now she can be who she wants to be. Now she can be, she can focus on her life too, and she's going to respect you for it. She's going to love you for it. So that's the perfect dating cycle, guys. And that is exactly all you need to do to have a great relationship. If anybody has any questions, post them down below. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And thank you guys for watching and being fans. I love you guys. And take it easy. Done.